So, good evening everyone. You are watching the Slydog Racing League on YouTube tonight. Presented by Grace Bespoke, your printing and embroidery specialists. Visit gracebespoke.co.uk for more. I'm Seb Bauer. Glad you are with us tonight for race number 6 and 7 of season 2 of Tier 1 here in the Slydog racing community. Yeah, a lot is going on. We are already at the final stage of the first third of the season. As you already know, as you turn into a Slydog regular, Slydog fan, we always have a qualifying and two 25% races in the end. The settings are not completely finalized yet. Our host Trem is working on it on the background. We have started the season with a one-shot qualifying. In the last event, tried a short, means 18 minutes quali, and as the drivers were more familiar with having a 18 minutes quali, we have agreed to keep that for the rest of the season. So even though there is written one shot in the bottom left corner, this will change as soon as our host will update it. Maybe he's listening to me right now, so could happen very fast. Second thing that will change is the track list. Right now we see the track of Melbourne in Australia, but that will not stay that way. We are racing here tonight first in Mexico and second in Bahrain. Further, we have a equal car performance, of course. Safety car, VSCs on, damage is on, weather is set to dynamic. That should not be an issue in Bahrain, but probably, yeah, could be something to watch in Mexico. I've seen a few rainy sessions there. The corner cut rule is set to strict, so that might be an issue. That could be an issue with track limits, and the race start will be in manual. Let's have a short look about the assists. Nothing too fancy here. I would like to call it medium traction control, manual gearbox, pit assist on, so no worries when coming into the pit lane, but you have to start manually after the tire change. So, as the lobby is slowly but steadily filling up, we have 17 drivers with us at the moment. We should see a full grid as far as I know. For the moment, let's talk about the tracks that we are racing on. I mentioned first is Mexico, second in Bahrain. Mexico will be the track with the qualifying. The qualifying settles the starting grid then, and the Bahrain race will be in the reversed grid. The top 10 will be reversed, so expect a lot of action and fighting towards the end of the first race when we have a look at the places 9, 10 and 11, as P9 and 10 will be the first starting row in Bahrain then. Mexico is part of the Formula 1 since 2015. The track is 4.3 kilometers of length, and the lap record is set and held by Valtteri Bottas, dating back to 2018, a 1:18.741. I expect our drivers to be approximately 4, maybe even 5 seconds faster than the real life world. 17 turns, and two rather special things about the track in Mexico City is the fact, actually three I would like to say, the fact that we run through the baseball stadium, the baseball stadium Forosol on the outskirts of Mexico City. That's home of the Diablos Rojos del Mexico, meaning something like the Red Devils from Mexico. And the straight is the second longest in the year with 2.2 kilometers of length. And this long straight is the longest rundown from the start to the first turn. That means a good start is even more vital and crucial than it already is anyway. Or on the other hand, you can make up a bad qualifying at least a bit, if you have a good start, of course. The second track in Bahrain is part of the Formula 1 already since 2004, so that's quite a long time ago. How time flies. The Bahrain International just run about 4-5 kilometers and 15 turns, and I have to correct the game because the record is not held by Pedro de la Rosa, because the lap record on the track we see today is 1 year earlier from Michael Schumacher in 2004, a 1:30.2, and I expect our drivers to be a lot faster than that time. Likewise, as the virtual world is usually a lot faster than the real life time. I have to admit that I did not have the honor to commentate on a race in Bahrain yet. On the other hand, Mexico is already my third time tonight. So me personally, I am looking forward to the Bahrain track very much, as it is one of my personal favorite tracks to race in Formula 1 2020 game. And finally, I can have one, maybe the one of my most favorite tracks to be broadcasted right into your living room. So here we are back in the lobby. Let's have a look who has already checked in. Both Alpha Tauri are there, our host Trem, of course. And Wheeler has checked in. Albert DeWitt, Monster, Smoggy, good evening. Granty Boy, James Punt, Liam Osborne, our Chatty Duck is there too. Good evening to you, or rather good afternoon, as you are living in Canada. And that's me, hello. And I am especially searching for first one, Chris Panda, of course, our overall standings leader at the moment. He is barely in front of Granty Boy. There he is. There he is in the Racing Point. Good evening to you, Mr. Granty Boy. As we are already at that topic, the overall standings, sadly I cannot depict it for you in the PlayStation menu, but as mentioned, Chris Panda is leading 108 points after 5 races, and he is ahead by 3 points of Granty Boy, just 3 points between them. So it's actually a head-to-head race, a duel between those two guys. And then there's already a big gap on P3. That's Monster. I have seen him already. There he is in his Ferrari. Monster already is 41 points behind Chris Panda. That's already a big gap. And in P4 of our overall standings, we see... Where is he? Where is he, our Canadian? There he is, our bubbly duck. Teddy Duck with 60 points already gap to Chris Panda. He could have had a big result. He could have had a good podium in the last race, but he threw it away with a spin at the very end of the second race last Monday. That race, or both two races, are still visible on my channel, so in case you should have a bit of time at the moment in the winter, if you should not have the biggest Christmas stress, you can still have a look at our past races. Actually, the whole season, everything that has happened thus far in this season is rewatchable on my channel. So the session timer has started to tick down, and we will be in the qualifying in just a few seconds. So here is the beautiful picture of the baseball stadium I mentioned. Photo Sol, one of the very unique moments in the whole year when the whole Formula One grid passes through this stadium. 55,000 of virtual audience. If we cannot have the real one, at least we have the virtual ones cheering to the drivers. I would like to say especially to the Racing Points, as in real life we see Sergio Perez in that cockpit. We saw actually the last weekend has been his last race for the pink cars in the real life, and see rather fair weather, so sunny and dry conditions, at least for the qualifying. Doesn't have to mean that this will stay this way. Then first guys are going as the table. I can jump to them, and we will be reserved. Station name is find out for you going on and out. He is in Audi, the car who will be in this car next season again. He will for his some more information. Is already here. He starts on his lap, and he is The long straight I was mentioning, second longest in the whole year, and longest rundown from the start to turn 1. Oh. And as you can see on the right side, the minimap is colored red, means he already invalidated his time. So first hot lap is actually none. Nevertheless, we stay with him to get the track. He picked it a bit. 90 degrees turns in the first sector. Sector 1 is officially ending here as he lets Liam Osborne pass by and David Lawson. So at the beginning of sector 2, still a lot of 90 degree turns. Once or twice or thrice around the block, you could say. He's rather slow, not to impede some other guys that are on hot laps. The sector 2 is a sector with medium and fast paced turns. We already know them from the modern tracks. Every modern track layout has such a sector, and this sector 3 with the slow turns, this is Forosol. Welcome to the baseball stadium. And one right-hander left, and then this was the invalid hot lap of Zivts. And yeah, if you're watching us, maybe leave a comment in our channel, in my YouTube live stream, how we could name this guy. We will have another person we might need a nickname for, but that's later for this event. So for the moment we see Chetty Duck, who has posted already the first hot lap, the first pole time, 1:15.5. That is already over 3 seconds faster than real life. So already from the early get-go, a lot faster than real life times. Maybe let's jump to someone who is on a hot lap at the moment, potentially. There we see Granty Boy. Yeah, he just started his hot lap. He is running on medium tires. That is one detail out of the Parc Fermé rules. That means for all those guys who qualified into the top 10, those top 10 runners will have to start the race right on the set that they have qualified on. So the reds, the soft tires, are the faster but degrade faster too in the race. Means if you start on yellow medium tires, you could have a more flexible strategy, even though we have to admit that in a 25% race there is not a lot of strategy. So we only see, I would recommend, I would think run about 15 laps here on this race. And Boy already a bit of impeded here on the end of his hot lap, but it's still good enough for a new pole time, 1:15.2. Congratulations, and he has posted that on mediums, so that's even a bigger statement for him. Let's have a look at the tires used at the moment. So of course a lot of people drive softs, but it's almost 50-50. A lot of drivers at least try the mediums, but I suppose many of them will later jump on the red softs. Granty Boy has to be really slow here. Looked almost like a modern kind of a mower, but this is not because he wants to find out how quality, so it's just because he wants to get out of the way, do not hold up other drivers, and that just shows how fair and rather sympathetic this Slydog Racing League is. How our drivers help each other, so to say, to get the best out of this session. for everyone. So, as we have seen hot laps from almost everyone, only Monster is grey, and there is the second one I was mentioning, who we need a nickname for. That's 623. Okay, so another replacement driver here for tonight in second half. And while the qualifying, we will stay with him on his outlap, and we'll start a hot lap to a first time. And while we watch him, last guy to do that, let's get in some more information about what is going on in the paddock of the Slydog Racing League. I always try to stay in touch with drivers during the week, and this week I was talking to, for example, our host Trem, and he had a bit of a struggle in on the start of the season, but the last two events he was able to acquire points in both races. So that's why I asked him if he sees that as his personal start of the season, now as he has scored twice in a row. And he said yes, he was off to a good running for the season, especially in the last week. And in one of the races he started on 15th and got up to P7, so he made up almost half the field. That was quite good. And my second question was if there is any special for him for tonight, track or just both equally. And he said tactics for Bahrain, I can say, but I might throw a curveball in the mix during Quali. So where he is in P8 at the moment. That's not bad, not bad. Last week he qualified in P15, so he's already a lot better than last week. So for our hosts, and have a look. Ziggs already with quite a good lap, putting him into P5. 7.5 tenths behind the leader. That is still Granty Boy. Just as I supposed, a lot of drivers have now opted to try next hot lap. Let's see if Granty Boy will run again. He's standing in the pits right now. He is the pole setter on his mediums. Slydog now out trying mediums too. No, he's not out, but he has mediums now. I suppose that he will go out soon. Try if he can be fast enough, and if not, his come in new softs for another in the end. And there is a new hot shot. Chris Panda, our overall leader, putting himself 17 thousandths of a second in front of Granty Boy. So just as close as our overall standings are. Our front row is right now. While Granty Boy has now mounted softs. He's still in the pits, but if he will go out again, he will do that on soft, and probably will give us one hell of a hot lap then. And we see Slydog, who does just the opposite, opting from softs to mediums. And we have a new pole time. Our new FC fan Liam has posted a 1:15.0. Not bad, not bad, but that shows the definite need of Granty Boy to run again, and he will have to run on softs. And as we still watch Slydog on his mediums, let's see if he even tries a hot lap on mediums or if he just comes into the pits. No, he tries one. Okay, why not? Why? We will with him. Yeah, and just as I talked to Trem, I likewise talked to Chris Panda. I mentioned overall leader, barely. And ooh, Chatty Duck has crashed here. I was just about to read my note sheet from the interviews when I saw Chatty Duck drifting off the track, having some severe front wing damage, but nothing else I would like to say. So he will try to come in and get himself a new nose, get himself new fresh red tires, and yeah, it should not be a problem for him to run again right at the end of the session. So speaking about the end of the session, before we get into the hectic last few minutes, let's get in the info from Chris Panda. I was asking him very easily which of the tracks he prefers for tonight, and he says that he prefers rather Bahrain over the Mexico slalom. And asking about the strategy for the championship run, as it is that very close, he says that he just tries to be as consistent as possible and not to get front wing damage, so he can stay near to the front in most races. But he says Granty is hot on my tail and I feel he will overtake me tonight. We will all have an eye on that. Chris Chatty Duck has now reached the pit lane again. We see an Alfa Romeo heading out to the track in a rather bit a stupid time. A lot of people going out now. I would say that they are a bit too early. So the rule says that you have to cross the start-finish line before the clock hits zeros, and most of the drivers go out with 2.5 minutes left, and those 3-4 drivers we saw there went out a bit too early, but many do now, so to avoid some panic, I would like to say, we see, for example, Granty Boy on a hot lap, and that's a good one. Improving himself by 1.5 tenths in Sector 1, but that would not be enough to reconquer the pole position. Let's see what he is doing here in Sector 2. Minus 666 tenths. Rather unholy number, but I think that he cheers for it if that would stay this way until the start-finish line. New pole for Granty Boy. Wow. Getting 9:10 under the time of Liam. That's been a statement. Congratulations on that. So, yes, that's a statement. The other drivers that are in a potential qualifying run, like Chatty Duck, like Chris Panda, they just have to beat that. This will not be easy for them. Liam and Panda in P2 and 3 still in the pits, so if they want to have another shot, they should do that rather soon. We see David Lawson on a hot lap right now in a good P4. That's really good for him. He's at the end of Sector 2 here. No improvement. David Lawson will not improve and will probably stay maximally in P4. But we know that David Lawson is quite a good starter. So on this very long rundown to the first turn, this could be a big advantage for him. We see who else we see on a hot lap. Maybe let's have a look at Mogi, who just started his hot lap here in his Williams. Mogi, bit of up and down for him in the last races. Let's see what he can do in the quali here. Mogi, who by the way has very unique fan cheering for him here tonight. Let's see what Sector 1 will bring us. 81,000 behind his first hot lap. Nothing left. Nothing lost yet. Let's see what Sector 2 will bring for him. Yeah, his unique fan, his partner, his wife, I think. I think it's her wife, Emma, is watching him spin out. Oh, ho, ho, that's sad. That is it for him. That is it for him. Just when I was looking up her name, then I not to call out any wrong name. I'm sorry, I didn't see him spinning off track, but yes. So at the moment, Emma, his partner, is sitting at home, watching him, cheering at him from the other room, as she is enduring some health troubles. All the best to you. Get well soon, please. And while that has happened, our qualifying is rather over. Just one question is left. It's not left. Slydog already over the line. Not on a hot lap anymore. The game rules him on a hot lap, but that's not true. He had his hot lap already before. Got into P2, but could not attack Granty Boy. So I would like to say our starting grid is more or less done for the moment. Granty Boy is grey. He has already stepped out of his car. And I would like to say congratulations to Granty Boy for the next pole position. Slydog, as we see him shortcutting his way back to his pits, will line up right next to you in the front row, half a second behind you on the grid. And yes, that's it. Granty Boy in the pole. Congratulations. Slydog in 2. New FC fan Liam in P3. Chris Panda, the overall leader, in P4. Not the best position if your prime rival is in the pole, but he's not too far away either. Leonard Cam then in P5. Here's the full starting grid for race 1. Granty Boy, Slydog, New FC fan Liam, the top 3. Chris Panda in P4, Leonard Cam in 5. Zitzgis in P6, Albert DeWitt in 7, David Lawson in 8, Josef Morados in 9, 10 Liam Osborne, 11 Brian Wheeler, 12 James Punt, 13 Mogi, 14 Butters, 15 our host Trem, 16 Darren Mark, 17 Mercyman, 18 the second guy with a very cryptic name, Fitzguts, and no time posted sadly by our monster, who is overall in P3 in the standings, so he needs to crawl up a lot in case he hopefully is able to join us for the race. So first look is about the weather. That's fine, fair weather again. So in this short race we will probably see a dry track for the whole session. And yeah, the drivers are checking in, loading their setup into the game. I will step aside for just a bit until we get the race started. So this is the installation lab. We have an installation lab always in our races. It's good for me, it gives me time to get everything broadcasted, every information in that we will need. So, not the gap. I was searching for the tire information. Oh, and we see a lot of reds, a lot of softs. Degradation is actually not a big issue in Mexico, so I will expect every driver stop. Maybe even red to yellow, red to medium tires, and thinking about short, you see the 18 laps race length. The good thing is that there is actually not a lot of strategy. There is more or less no possibility for undercuts or 2 stops, 3 stops strategy, whatever. It is racing, 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 action and overtakes. So the races are mostly decided by overtakes, and that is just what we want to see, of course. Granty Boy, the leader, already here in the stadium. Everyone's still trying to getting some load into their tires. He did not rush the installation lap that much, so field is still rather close to each other. It's good so that he does not have to wait too long in his starting position where he is in here right now. Think and hope that Monster is with us, so even at least he's active. That's a good sign, I would like to say. It is forming up. I hope the camera is not staying that angle because that's a bit poor for the start. Takes a bit long here. I have already seen a similar situation last week, right after the update of the game. In case those drivers have me in their cockpit, in case those drivers can hear me, probably David Lawson and Leonard Cam will know what I'm talking of, because that's been the league I commentate and broadcast on Wednesday evenings. We had exact the same situation, as the game somehow refused to start the race after the installation lap. And sadly, last week the only option we had was to restart the whole event. So I sadly am very sure that we will have to do the same again.